During the production of the 5-minute documentary extract, we used Adobe Premiere editing software. This software allowed us to edit the footage which we recorded using the video camera. When using Adobe Premiere, we also could add graphics to the documentary, which meant that we could add names of the interviewees to each of their sections of the documentary. When we were using Premiere, we could also add footage over the top of the interview where jump cuts occurred. This gave the product a professional look, as the real-life documentaries use this technique to cover up jump cuts in the interviews. These are known as cutaways. When we were filming using the camera, we had to make sure it was in focus. We also had to make sure that the framing was correct. As you can see on the first interview, the framing was off, and we can see there was a large amount of blank space. This is bad, as it can draw attention away from the interviewee, and it can mean that the spectator isn't fully engaged, as they will be looking in the background instead of looking solely at the interviewee. For the second interview, the framing was much tighter, and we did this so that we could take away the distraction of the background. We made the interviewee the main focus point of the shot so that the audience will have nothing else to look at apart from the interviewee. Therefore, this will make them engage much more with the documentary. A feature of both of the interviews is that the interviewee is always off-center. This is one of the main features of documentaries, and in real-life products use this as a way of framing interviews. As we can see on the first interview, the lighting is poor and you aren't able to see the person's face clearly. This is bad, as the interviewee's expression isn't there and we aren't able to engage with the interviewee. As you can see on this interview, we did use the light, and you can see that the lighting is much better and you are able to see the person's face clearly, and therefore you are able to see expression, which will allow you to engage with the interviewee much more. First of all, we took photos using a DSLR, which we wanted to use for the print ad. We took a picture of someone sat on a couch and a potato. Then we edited the photos using the software package Adobe Photoshop. We cut the pictures out onto a transparent background, which allowed us to then merge the two pictures together. We then used the clone stamp tool to replicate the skin of the potato and add it to the skin of the person's arms. After this, we then added the graphics which were needed, i.e. the channel which it is aired on and when it will be aired, the slogan, and the name of the documentary. During the research and planning part of the task, we used the website Powtoons. We also used the website eMaze. Plus, we also used a phone so that we could call potential interviewees. During the research and planning section, we used the website bubble.us and MindMeister. These sites allowed us to add brainstorms to our blogs in a creative way. When it came to creating the radio trailer, we used Adobe Premiere again. We recorded a voiceover using a Zoom recorder. We then imported what was recorded onto the program. After importing the voiceover, we then cut it using the razor tool. This allowed us to make the spaces in which we added the audio from our documentary, e.g. the vox pops and parts from actual interviews.